difference between digital marketing and performance marketing, Rohan, is digital marketing caters to multiple verticals in marketing as far as the digital ecosystem is concerned. Today we are binge watching. Today our entertainment conversations with friends, families, and otherwise are. So what are you binge watching on? You've not watched this? We've watched 4 episodes in one go. Entertainment has reached your TV set. At the end of the day, that's reaching a customer or a user touch point. It's been 15 years. I'm with 15-member team. Why am I not scaling? What is it that I'm losing out on? He said, Nitin, you have to set systems to scale. Set systems and that will scale, and moderate it wherever necessary. Okay, so as I was saying, to continue, Meta has kind of changed its algorithm. So before it used to happen that interest-driven campaigns were shown to users. Abhi kya ho raha hai? If you're seeing a certain campaign of a certain product, and even though you're not looking for that campaign organically through content, Meta is only going to show you more of those kind of products in terms of sponsored campaigns. So everybody should try this, okay? You happen to see a campaign, okay? You happen to see a campaign. See that campaign, go to the website or even engage with that campaign without probably just be on that ad, that visual for like 3 to 5 seconds. Even that is enough. That's retainership. Viewership and retainership is there on that. Don't click on the call to action button. Wahin pe raho. Wait for 10 minutes. You'll be seeing more and more campaigns like those of other products. So Meta is identifying your, how do I say this? Your watch time and what you're watching and showing you more of that because they want you to stay on the platform for a longer time. Even with Reels, it's not sponsored. Of course, you can do sponsored Reels and sponsored placements. But with Reels also, you like or engage or save a certain Reel. Or if you're watching a certain Reel for more than 5 seconds, you'll get to see more of such Reels. Right? We call it through plays. There's a term called through plays, guys. So through plays, we do through play campaigns where if you watch a Reel for more than 15 seconds, it's counted as a through play. There are certain levels of watching content on Meta. If you watch a piece of content for more than 3 seconds, you're in that audience. If you're watching for more than 5 seconds, you're in that audience. 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So sometimes we run top of the funnel campaigns on Meta. Mm-hmm. That's only through plays. And that actually helps us reach more people, and it helps that particular video kind of spread faster, and the branding happens beautifully. And we've tried that with multiple brands. This is a tip that I'm giving for a lot of people who want to just do top of the funnel campaigns. कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है ना? एक काम करो, Reels ले लो, उसको story और Reel के placement में डालो, through plays पे चलाओ और भूल जाओ. Your top of the funnel branding will happen because through plays are only going to be shown to people who actually watch Reels for more than 15 seconds. So technically, the viewership, the watch time, and the retainership on that piece of content is high.
Your segment becomes more condensed.
Bhale, koi baat nahi. It really helps. Take that audience who's watched, save it to your pixel, do another retargeting campaign. We call it the RTG campaign. And you can do like another interest or driven or per se, just a retargeting campaign with something more detailed. Could be a course, could be like an engagement driven campaign, taking them to the website because they already know your brand first because they've watched a video. So they've already are intrigued. So that's how you kind of identify, certain ad sets. So there's a lot to it. It's crazy fun. This is called performance marketing. The difference between digital marketing and performance marketing, Rohan, is digital marketing caters to multiple verticals in marketing as far as the digital ecosystem is concerned, right? As I rightfully mentioned, organic social media ads, SEO, which is search engine optimization, SEM, which is your Google ads. Google ads के अंदर search ads आते हैं, display campaigns आते हैं, performance max campaigns आते हैं, local map campaigns आते हैं. हम Google में जाते हो, आपने let's say ये type कर दिया specs near me or spectacles near me or eyeglasses near me. You get to see those map results on Google. Yeah. Some of them are sponsored also. You see a sponsored mark. There are campaigns on Google you can do only to target people who are looking for that particular piece of product near them. So you can be on the top of the list. So those are location-based performance max campaigns. Sometimes you type a certain product on Google, all right, and you happen to see those blocks of pictures and text and pricing. That's Google Merchant Center ad campaigns. That's on Google as well. So let's say pure protein supplements. So you'll find an Isopure in multiple flavors down. Without having to go to a website, you'll actually see those things there.
You can select and it'll directly take you to the payment page.
Just like having a small e-com store on Google search, correct?
Right.
You could perhaps show screenshots while I'm talking so people can relate with it better. So that could be there. So a lot of scope. Ye ho gaya influencer marketing. Influencer marketing has now reached to another level. So let me just be very clear to all you guys as influencer marketing is concerned. Bhai koi limit hi nahi hai. Do not be limited to the glass ceiling. Go above. Look at Ori. Look at the girl who dresses funny.
Urfi Javed.
Urfi Javed. You're fantastic, by the way, so keep up the good work. She's fantastic at what she does.
Right.
No regrets, no apologies, no F's given. Great influencer. Okay, tell me one thing. Have you heard of Dhinchak Pooja?
Yes. Who hasn't?
What is she? She's a project, for crying out loud. She's been a project, I think, and I could be wrong, she's probably at that point of time AIB's pet project because she came out of nowhere. And she was covered by Scoop Foop, she was covered by AIB, she was covered by other blogs. Look, this girl sings so bad that it's good. That was the headline. Back in 2016 or 17 at that point of time, if I'm not mistaken, it could be before that as well. Around that time, correct? She got popular, right? It's been one of my biggest case studies when I'm training that look at her. People don't care about quality online on digital. They rely more on getting entertained. They rely more on how they can stay on the platform for a longer time. Hence, there are people like Dhinchak Pooja and Urfi Javed and Ori who are giving people what they want. Of course, the same users, Rohan, are cringing. The same users are trolling. Correct? But at the end of the day, the same users are watching, for crying out loud. Buying decisions have changed. A lot of our buying decisions have changed. Tell me one thing, up until a certain amount of time, if I would tell you before the pandemic in 2000 or 2019 that you could you kind of binge watch shows online, you would say, अरे यार सब्सक्रिप्शन लो, छोटी छोटी स्क्रीन में देखो, अपने फ़ोन पे देखो, क्या है, I might as well watch something at home, probably call it DVD. आदत चेंज कर दी यार, चेंज कर दी.
If you can't beat them, join them, kind of thing.
Today we are binge watching. Today our entertainment conversations with friends, families and otherwise are... So what are you
What did
binge
you
watching
watch?
on? You've not watched this? We watched 4 episodes in one go.
Yeah.
Entertainment has reached your TV set. At the end of the day, that's reaching a customer or a user touch point. So what digital does is, Rohan, digital's prime responsibility is making sure that a brand, a product or a service is reaching a customer touch point. He's having lunch, he's having dinner, he's shitting on a spot, he's doing whatever he's doing. There's entertainment.
Right.
We are gasping on podcasts while we are crapping as well at the end of the day. But we find that alone space, peaceful for ourselves. You know, as cringy as it may sound to all of us, but it's the truth. Correct? But that's our happy space for a lot of people. Why not?
You know, sorry to cut you off.
Please,
but
please
like,
continue.
there was this random study as to what people, the funny thing that you said, where do people consume the most amount of content? In the bathroom. And regardless, and I'm not only like going into the statistics of understanding, it's just that screens run lives. And it has reached a point where that is very normal to say. And to a point where you're trying to use something like digital marketing, which is a clear, short, communicative method through a screen, selling something that you're getting to the table, you will have to adapt to it because you're not targeting 100, you're not targeting 1,000, you're targeting 7 billion. And the one thing that I recognized, particularly before, I kind of segue into the next segment, is that, like, as you explained, all of the points, all of the main, you mentioned influencers, you mentioned performance marketing, you mentioned how search engines are, something that, what is our daily thing? You got something you don't have an answer to, Google it. Funny thing of why I wanted to start ROHFIT and why I started my company Pathfinder was particularly because Google is a well of information, right? Google is a well of information, which means there's another side of the coin, which is misinformation, which is also your lack of knowledge. My whole reason to enter this space was that the one thing that we cannot compromise in terms of information is with our health and wellness. So my whole vision is, and I don't know, I hope to God that it hits someday, that I want people to come to my platform because I don't want them to go to Google to search it. I want to come for them to find the right information from the right people. Doesn't matter if it's about your physical life, your health, your mental health, your social life, your occupational life, your intellectual life, all of the aspects. Today, the point of people wanting to come up and sell their products, sell their art, sell their passion, sell their dream, everything from apartments to freaking pop sockets on phones are available all throughout the net. And as the famous mindset of the Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street, sell me this pen. Every person's become a salesperson today.
That's the point. And what you're doing, Rohan, is fantastic because, which I was also going to come after influencer. Influencing also means thought leadership. What you're doing is you're curating thought leaders in the wellness space, health and wellness space. You're getting them together. You're encapsulating their entire experience and work of so many years. And you're presenting it to people who might need it the most. So technically, you're like Santa Claus got married to Robin Hood, right? And this is born. I mean, like seriously, like you're helping.
Use that later.
That's helping out, right? So you're the Santa Claus of health and wellness. Got married to Robin Hood, who's helping people at the end of the day, and something beautiful is coming out of that. So that is fantastic. The first time when we spoke as well about this, where you're looking for more and more wellness coaches to kind of join your bandwagon, at that time itself, I feel that, great, this is so important. There are wellness coaches, there are coaches who are in this Raymond space who are not getting their due.
Right.
Who are trying to help you. वो चीख रहे हैं भाई मैं मदद करना चाहता हूँ मेरे को कहीं तो लगा दो. I want to help. You're giving them a platform which is fantastic. Because I feel in every trade and every business, especially performance marketing. So just to give you a small difference between digital and performance, then we can go and understand how wellness connects to them. Digital is making sure that your content is moving people and it's available at multiple touch points. So there are no limitations. Please move out of the glass ceiling. Digital only means these 12 things. Anything's on digital is your campaign. Developing a game for people is also digital marketing.
Right.
If you're moving that, it's digital marketing at the end of the day. So that's also digital marketing. Connecting digital marketing with offline has become the new go-to, because I just met this really cool guy, good friend of mine. He's imported like lots of money worth LED panels from abroad. And you must have seen these digital LED panels on roads, right?
Yeah,
We have these ads running. Yeah. He's kind of importing those and he's selling those. He said, Nitin, we've developed a software with it, all right, for that and for indoor LCD panels where you have in stores and all, where there's a camera, it identifies the person who's watching it. And he showed me a test of that. There was a camera that was watching me. That camera, that entire learning management system that LMS is telling me, male, age 30 plus, retainership watch time in 10 seconds, 3 seconds. मतलब 10 सेकंड में कितनी बार तूने स्क्रीन को देखा, कितनी बार बाहर देखा है. All of that is he's identifying about me. He's connecting that to the content through advertisers, so advertisers can show custom driven content to people who are actually looking at the screen. So if Rohan walks into a store, let's say a Marks and Spencer that's opened in Santa Cruz, and there are LCD panels, that screen will automatically tailor content that Rohan would like to see. Rohan is all of 23, 24. If they happen to identify your face with your social history or digital history, they'll know what interest do you have. They'll show you content that connected to that interest. So there, digital is connecting to offline.
Sounds like a dystopian movie.
Mad. Now they've got this new system where they said, Nitin, we are working with advertisers where we're telling them for the client can just pay them for the actual view time of those screens and not just pay the rental for the whole month. So today, if you're paying, let's say 5 lakhs rental for one screen that's going to show your ad 5 times a day through 30 days, because they're going to promise you that kind of viewership, it's going to actually say that your campaign ran this much time throughout the day, और जितना run हुआ है, जितना देखा गया है, उतना ही पैसा दो boss. This is how optimized the entire ecosystem has become, which I feel is amazing.
It's just gonna grow.
It's gonna grow. Great opportunities for agencies like us to create content that adapts to people on multiple touch points, now even offline, on foot. So digital is evolving. Performance here, just last 20 seconds on performance. Performance is everything about outcomes, Rohan. Digital will give you footfalls, reach, awareness, engagement, and retainership and viewership and watch time. Performance will go another step कि अब इसके बाद क्या boss? धंधा कहाँ से आएगा? Clicks to the website is digital marketing. That metric is being followed. The KPI is kind of set for that. Conversions, form fill-ups, sales, that's performance marketing. So performance marketing, when we start working on performance marketing campaigns, our sole objective is to understand कि client का objective क्या है, क्या करना है आपको. बोलेगा नितिन मुझे, I just want people to see, I just want reach. I said no, you don't. You want sales. Agree. हाँ वो तो it's a long shot ना. मैंने कहा no, it's not a long shot. We work on performance campaigns that give you sales at the end of the day. Eventually your digital marketing KPIs will be met in terms of viewership and clicks and stuff like that. So performance we only focus on outcomes. चाहे वो sales हो, वो conversions हो, वो app installations हो, outcome change हो जाता है तो strategies change हो जाते हैं. That's performance marketing. Performance. That's so a lot of agencies in the country, in the world are looking towards performance marketing. Coming to wellness now, working on a performance marketing campaign is more stressful to mental well-being and social well-being than digital marketing, because with digital you're running campaigns too with the right content to the right people, and then you're like, chalo yaar. या तो अभी clicks आएंगे या तो I'll get viewership. With performance, you are guaranteeing results. So their wellness sometimes takes a toll for my team also, for me also, because certain promises are kept with clients. Even though I'm very clear about the fact that I'm not here to give you sales, even though I'm doing performance marketing, I set certain KPIs, ki this is the amount of conversions we can achieve. Touch wood we do achieve with God's grace, but can't promise, because that becomes like a pendulum on the head ki shit to karna hi padega yaar. Ab kya kare?
Right.
So,
there was not only like just on the surface of digital marketing and performance marketing, there are lots of variables that go one layer beneath the surface, which is, okay, now let's take a step back of you as a digital marketer and a performance marketer, right? There was this conversation we had off camera about how the day in the life of a digital marketer, right? And when you brought in wellness, and this was something that we really wanted to discuss, which was, man, how do you get the time? The life of a digital marketer, as far as I know, because I've obviously worked with you on different projects as well, and now that my app is coming out next month, my whole thing is coming to you with, hey, I need performance marketing, because we need traffic on the app, we need this. So I completely understand that I will have to like delve into that world a little bit. So delving into that world, I also had another question, which was, how does a digital marketer, a person who's running a firm, a person who's running an agency, a person who's trying to cover deliverables not only on an international time zone, but on an Indian time zone as well, how does he or she crack that, you know what? I need to take out some time for myself, because it goes beyond just it, and this comes a little more on the mental side of things, because work, staying in front of screens for hours takes a toll for you and your team, I bet. And for a person who is also running a content company, I can completely understand what it takes to starting point A to the ending point Z, and the big ups and downs that come with it. So if I had to ask you to just simply in a very short format say, okay, this is what I would like to change about my wellness routine, add to it, and maybe these are the points where, say, with the new year coming through, how would you tackle your personal wellness, especially in an industry like this?
So, buddy, up until a while ago, up until back in 2008, 2009, I've worked. So I worked on my own. I worked myself alone. I was when I was modeling or acting, age of 17 to 20. It was a hustle. Then it was my own decision that I took, that I want to kind of do this, take this path. Correct. There was a hustle then. I used to shoot at Film City, then come back home, sleep for 2 hours. Because I was in HR doing BMS, I used to get up in the morning, go to my college, finish my lectures, finish my presentations, finish my project meetings, come back again. It was a hustle then. Ye cheez na, and I would probably say this more specifically towards Sindhi families, because you're a Sindhi too and we are the same family. We've kind of heard this and we've lived with this or grown up with this. We've seen our parents working hard. We've seen our parents up in the morning, going to the office, being in the office, getting shit done, delivering everything to us. हमारे मुंह से निकलने से पहले वो चीज़ हमारे हाथ में होती थी. So the only thing that we've learned from them is कि बेटा मेहनत करोगे तो मेहनत के बिना तो होगा नहीं. हासिल करना पड़ेगा, मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. ये mental thought for me also has been a rock solid zone कि नितिन मेहनत तो करनी पड़ेगी. देखो, you have to hustle. We have to hustle as much as possible. उसके बिना तो होगा नहीं. So as far as mental wellness is concerned and as far as social wellness is concerned, as far as the routine that I have, I started off, Rohan, with a lot of anxiety as far as my work was concerned, because I had to deliver. So younger team, smaller team, a lot of the deliverables fell on me, myself. I've signed contracts worth good amount of money. I have to deliver. I don't come from a school of thought which says कि मैं पैसे ले लूँगा और काम नहीं करूँगा. काम तो करूँगा. I will deliver results. If not this month, then the month after that. But that's going to come. Because I know at the end of the day, after the third month, my client will not look back at me and say, "Ki, you've done a great job." They'll just say, "Nitin, thank you so much for your association. Bye-bye." And I do not like that. So 2 things I never handled well were rejections is one. Not very good at rejections. 2, I don't want the other person to say कि यार कुछ किया नहीं तुमने. That effort that I want to put 4 times more the effort. कि वो इंसान एक बार बोले कि हाँ यार, thanks for taking care. मेरे लिए वो एक बहुत बड़ा check mark होता है. So a lot of agencies I've worked with, a lot of people I have dealt with, a lot of seniors who've consulted me also, a lot of business consultants I've worked with also, have told me, Nitin, you have to stop worrying. You have to stop being anxious. Your client is not giving you an approval, that's not your problem. That person is not giving you an approval. I said, no, घूम फिर के वो मेरे पे आएगा ना, क्योंकि मैंने नहीं किया. अरे तुमने किया है, but तुमको approval नहीं मिला, तुम क्या करोगे? At the end of the day, your performance is mapped, it's understood. But that doesn't mean you're supposed to be anxious about it. I was that. Perhaps I'm still a little bit of that. Because I believe if I've promised a client something, I will deliver, and my team has promised something to me and the client, and they have to deliver. So to be able to make sure they deliver and I deliver, now I have set systems. We have SOPs in place, we have systems in place, we have certain methods that we follow. We use platforms like Asana for task giving, we use platforms like Slack, we're doing weekly reviews and daily huddles, quick huddles to discussions, because I want shit done. If I'm needed for that, I'm available for that. And every agency has that. It's an undercover tactic for every agency. A lot of agencies don't talk about. They show that they're really cool on the outside, but the kind of hustle that they go through inside is real. and it's industry spread. It's not that there is one. So the only person who I feel right now is quite sorted and who's been able to kind of set this with a lot of systems he's put in place is Harshal Karya of Shebang. He's out on his yoga trips, he's doing vipassanas, he's doing some interesting conversations. I have tremendous respect for that guy. So I had a word with his partner on LinkedIn. Just he put a post, Mr. Gurnani, and I kind of just messaged him that hey, the post really moved me. I really feel that this kind of really works, but I wanted to ask you, what is it that really moves mountains for agencies, and how have you scaled to more than 500 people? I was very, very candid when I asked him that question because I was like, where am I getting stuck? It's been 15 years. I'm with 15-member team. Why am I not scaling? What is it that I'm losing out on? He said, Nitin, you have to set systems to scale. Set systems and that will scale, and moderate it wherever necessary. I said, wow. Off lately, I started reading more. I started to understand that today the market has become more employee driven. It's more team driven and less employer driven. So you must have noticed at one point of time, there used to be cultures, and in some organizations, still we have the same culture. Boss is always right. Boss is boss. Director, boss. The team has to follow instructions. Fair enough. But your boss is a leader. A leader can't dictate. A leader will direct. A leader will guide. So that is something that I try and move with as much as possible. There are times I get very upset with my team for certain things not done, even though I've given daily reminders. I tell them, am I like alarm clock or something? कि मैं remind कर रहा हूँ, मेरा काम नहीं हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है? Am I not providing you enough? Like sometimes the conversations go like husband and wife type, am I not providing you enough? And this, literally, I'm not kidding. But then slowly and steadily, we realize that, oh, we're still humans, right? We're not machines. So that cutoff never happens, Rohan. So I think it's important for us to find a balance between cutting off, detaching, taking care of yourself so that you're performing better for yourself. Because I keep telling them that, hey, you're not doing this for me or the agency. You're doing it for yourself, so your resume is going to get stronger because you are that ambitious a generation. I must say, this generation is ambitious AF. All right? And I do understand that while you're ambitious, you're hustling harder, but you're hustling harder with more anxiety coming your way. That shouldn't be the case.
That I can attest.
And easier said than done, right, Rohan? So what do you have to say about that?
So I'll tell you something very candidly. And that is that if you told us, say you kept us in a room, a completely empty room, you made us sit in the middle without any device for about, say, 20 minutes. And I want to actually test this out with a random bunch of Gen Zs. We wouldn't be able to sit. If you told us, if you have to choose between the typical red pill and blue pill thing, red pill is you'd immediately get to know what to chase next. And blue pill is that you have to be in this moment right here without knowing anything. Would you be able to be it? I can guarantee you majority of the people will go for the red pill because, one thing, and this was a conversation that I was having with my friend of late, which is, okay, what next? And if I'll give you like this kind of a summary of this year, I have done a lot with ROHFIT, with lots of other avenues in my life. But at the end of the day, the one thing I kept for myself as a goal to achieve is be in the moment and be satisfied with the moment without trying to think, okay, you know what, this is something to look forward to. We're always trying to look forward to something, even whether it's at work. Obviously at work you have deliverables to complete, you have clients to attend to, you have 15 things to do. Like literally on the way here only, I was handling 5 different things. And the one thing that I did not realize that I lost in that whole thing is time. And at the end of the day, and which is what I want to come back to, is that in a corporate or say a very career driven setting, which people in your generation, people in my generation, that cluster, which we are like, okay, hustle, because that's what is going to get you somewhere. And it's true. It is so true, because just dreaming it won't, you won't cut it. Like, if today you put your action towards where your dreams are, you are going to find success. I am still on the path, so I cannot give that with a guarantee stamp. But by seeing your journey and by seeing how you have obviously handled yourself, how we started off this podcast by saying you're the mast mala and you're the person who is detached to a certain, there was a journey that got you there. And up until the point where you had to settle into it, the one thing that people have to do is attempt to go through those ups and downs to reach that equilibrium.
You have to go through ups and downs. Well, I shouldn't say ups and downs. I hope किसी को भी ups and downs का नहीं face करना पड़े. Hustle तो definitely, but hustle मैं सुनता था, a lot of my elders and people who are more senior to me say, अरे नितिन, इंसान देख देख के सीखता है.
Right.
आप सहो, आप देखो, आप सीखो. सहो, देखो, सीखो. खुशी भी, गम भी, everything comes into play. But it's true. देख देख के ही हुआ है. This perspective that I have now at the age of 37, I never had this perspective when I was 30. Or even for that crying out loud, I mean 25 or 23. I thought the world is a beautiful straight line that makes you reach from point A to point B. Period. Not at all. Nada. There are so many ups and downs there, and that's very natural. It's nobody's fault. So two things, I think, as far as wellness is concerned, maybe mental and social and otherwise, two things are most important. The habit that we have of blaming people, blaming situations, blaming God, blaming anything that walks...
Blaming ourselves.
Blaming ourselves, stop it. Stop it. No point. मत करो ना, क्या फ़ायदा. आपके ब्लेम करने से वो चीज़ ठीक हो रही है या आपके लिए आप खुद ठीक हो पा रहे हो? नहीं. You change your path, no? You direct your course into somewhere where you find peace. Because the peace that you'll bring to the table with the other person who you think might be causing you a lot of distress will automatically turn a new leaf and come back to you and say that, hey, let's just put this behind us and let's just move on.
Very true.
We hold grudges a lot, which is fine. Hold grudges. It gives you that happiness, fair. I mean, all of us do, even I do. I'm not saying I don't. I definitely do. But at the end of the day, in the subconscious level, we always kind of question ourselves, na yaar, छोड़ दे, क्या फ़ायदा? Chuck it. Technically, खुद का ही, हम खुद ही दुख में है, तो हम कैसे किसी को खुश रखेंगे ना? This has been my policy everywhere all the time. In fact, this is a lot of people who know me very closely say this, that of course I'm detached and I have two rules. The first rule is be happy. आप खुश नहीं हो तो आप किसी को नहीं खुशी दे पाओगे.
Right.
I tell this to my wife also. I'm like, dude, खुश रहना है, irrespective of any situation. Laugh and smile. Even if people call you dumb, stupid, crazy, mad, cool. You're happy, no? आप जब तक खुश नहीं होगे, आप दूसरे इंसान को खुशी नहीं दे पाओगे. Our constant crave for attention and constant crave for respect and all the jumble board that comes into play needs to relax, because everybody is going through the same journey. Some people are talking about it, some people are not. And we are humans. Sorry, I'm so sorry. And we are humans. So let's just be humans only, And as I rightfully said, अगर आप खुश नहीं हो तो आप किसी और को खुशी नहीं दे पाओगे.
Right.
So if you're a human, other people are also human. With human situations, human cultures and everything is human at the end of the day. Nobody is God. Nobody wants to be God. It's situations that probably turn you around the bad way or the wrong way. I wouldn't say bad is a very negative word. I would say the wrong way. And another thing, people are not bad. People are not negative. We are not negative. We are not bad. Situations sometimes are not favorable. Let's just put it that way. Simple.